All right, so welcome to a new episode of the Marketing Nerds podcast. And in today's podcast, I will talk about Project Mercedes. What exactly is Project Mercedes? Well, for a while now, I have been planning to buy a new Mercedes, and as a matter of financial rationality, I do not want to buy it out of my savings. I do not want to put in any money from my savings. So, to make sure that I buy the car but without touching any money from my savings account, here is the plan. I started a series of e-commerce stores. These are primarily dropshipping stores, and through these stores, my plan is to earn the money to buy the car, the Mercedes, right? So I'm looking at about a crore rupees by the end of June. Now that's the goal. That's a fairly huge goal because I'm looking at net profit, not total revenue, and this is how I'm making it happen. And in this podcast, I am going to discuss the strategies and the whole plan of action that I am implementing to make this happen. So are you ready? Are you kicked? I'm assuming you are, right? Because I know a lot of you listening to the Marketing Nerds podcast are into dropshipping, and I know a lot of you are successful. Some of you are still finding your way. So I'm sure, listen to this podcast will give you a framework to plan something for yourself. So the whole idea is I'm starting with 5 different stores. Now, why exactly am I starting with 5 different stores and not just sticking to one? Well, like they say, law of averages. So I'm sure if you're aware of mutual funds, the whole concept of financial planning, when you invest in mutual funds over a period of time, or when you invest in SIPs over a period of time, eventually you make profits, right? Because the law of average tends to favor you, and that's why I'm starting with 5 different stores, because I want to increase the probability of success and hitting my goal. With one store, it's a 50-50 probability. With 5 stores, my chances of success and hitting the numbers is much better compared to just starting one store, and that's why I'm starting with 5 stores. Now, a quick disclaimer here before I move ahead. Well, this is not for everybody, right? If you plan to follow this strategy, let me warn you that this is not for everybody. For this strategy to work, the strategy with 5 stores, you need to be a really good marketer. You need to be freaking confident on your selling ability, right? If you're still, getting your footing and getting your holding in marketing, if you're still, jumping through the loops to learn marketing, then this strategy may not be the right one for you. So use it with caution. If you think you are a good marketer and if you can actually market well and sell products, then this strategy is something you should consider, and you should probably tweak it to your own requirements. Number 2, dropshipping is primarily known for almost zero investment, because you most likely invest only in the advertising and to get the tools, Shopify, and some apps if you need those apps, right? But with this strategy, it's a little different. You also would be requiring a little bit of a capital, right? You primarily need at least 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees to start this. So my capital investment for this strategy to get off the ground is about 2.2 lakhs, right? Roughly around that number. So, contrary to the popular dropshipping model, this strategy requires you to have a little bit of a capital. Again, you're not buying products, but the capital is only and only for your advertising. I know a lot of people who get started with dropshipping don't really invest a lot in advertising. They just test out with 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. But this strategy requires you to at least spend about 2.5 lakhs initially on advertising. So if you're not willing to spend anywhere close to that, then this strategy may not be the right one for you. So again, weigh all the pros and cons, because not every strategy is right for every stage of business or every individual, right? You need to personally apply it to your own situation and then move ahead. So take that into consideration. The next thing that I want to talk about is the framework of the strategy. So like I told you earlier, it revolves around setting up 5 e-commerce stores. Not one, not two, but 5 e-commerce stores in really popular spaces like weight loss. My first store is in the weight loss space, the second one is in the beauty space, and the third one is in the electronics and accessories space. Right, so as we all know, these are really popular and evergreen spaces, and where you always have consumers ready to buy. And it's only a matter of good marketing, right? Because you have a big marketplace ready to buy your products and services, and specifically products. You just need to serve them the right products and market it well so that they buy from you and not other people in the marketplace. So I have 3 stores in these popular spaces, and the last 2 stores are built around products which have a lot of competition, but which could be customized by you, which eliminates majority of the competition, almost taking it to a point of zero competition. Now, what do I mean by this? A good example of this would be something like Mentor Box, or something like an app which is Blinkist. So there are a lot of people who buy books, and books are available on Amazon, Flipkart, and a lot of other bigger stores, right? So there are a lot of places where people can buy the books from. But when Blinkist came in, they came in with a 20-minute summary of the book, right? Which is a completely different concept. It's kind of a blue ocean strategy if you've read that book. So the 2 stores need to be around something that has a lot of competition, where you have active customer base, but then you want to apply a blue ocean strategy and come up with a new version of the product, right? You want to tweak the existing products to make sure your marketplace is willing to buy it, because they are already buying the original version of the product. Now you just want to redefine the product and then take it back to the same marketplace. So you're kind of applying the blue ocean strategy. You're not redefining the market, but you probably are redefining the product itself, and that gives you an edge, right? It makes you the first mover in that space. Or even if you're not the first mover, but you could be competing with very few players, as opposed to competing with all the drop shippers and all the big box e-commerce stores, right? So these are the 5 stores that I have, 3 in very, very popular spaces, doing the same old traditional stuff, selling the same old products. And when I am selling products in the 3 popular spaces, my idea around selling the products is to sell them based on great stories, right? So I try and restrict the store to about 5 products max, and then have great stories around these 5 products. I want to make sure that I have a different story for each product. So entire marketing revolves around attaching a great story to each product and then selling the story, as opposed to selling the product, right? So that's a gist of the 5 stores that I have. And again, moving on, the whole idea of having 5 stores is to work with the law of averages. So when you work with the law of averages, the probability of success, and in my case, I know I would be successful. I'm confident on selling products no matter what industry, what space, how much competition there is. My idea of using the law of averages is to make sure I hit the numbers within the deadline, right? If I do not use the law of averages, there is a probability that I am reaching my goal could be a little delayed. And that's what I'm trying to avoid by using the law of averages and starting 5 different stores as opposed to 1. Now, there's no harm in going with just 1 store and spending all your marketing budget on that 1 store, but then you're working against the law of averages. And here the deadline is very, very critical, because June is when I was born, and that's my birthday month, and that's when I want to give myself the car. So yeah. Now that you have the basic framework laid out for you, and you have a little bit of an understanding of what am I doing, let's move ahead. The next thing that I'm focused on is this, right? Now, with each store and with each niche, there's a different challenge. For example, if I take the beauty niche, the challenge could be in decreasing the refund rate, because there are certain products which have a higher refund rate, and specifically fashion and beauty is a space where the refund rate is comparatively higher, because again, people, the fitting isn't right, or when they buy certain products, it looks a little different, and when it actually reaches the customer, they find it a little different compared to the pictures, and they're not happy and they want to refund, right? So comparatively, the fashion and the beauty space has a little bit of a higher refund rate compared to, let's say, something like weight loss, which is predominantly purchased based on the feeling of not being good enough, where consumers want to badly change their self-image and their life, and they buy the product thinking that this product is the one that's going to change their life. And that's why the refund rate is comparatively lesser if you throw out a good story to the consumer, understanding how, and teaching them and educating them on how this product could help them lose weight and change their self-image and be more confident. So with the beauty and the fashion space, my idea is to decrease the refund rate, while in the weight loss space, my idea is to increase the profit margins as high as possible, right? So every store has its own challenge. While in the fashion space, my profit margins could be dramatically higher because it's very subjective what people would want to pay for a piece of clothing or a beauty product. But when it comes to equipment in the weight loss space, people have a baseline of what they would prefer to pay compared to the other products. And that's why the challenge when it comes to the weight loss space is to increase the profit margins. And how do you charge people more for the same product that's available in the marketplace for a lesser price? By playing with the subjectivity and the feelings and the emotions and the results that people could get while using the product. And when it comes to the electronics and the accessory space, now that's a space where you have again the challenges with profit margins, because people do not have an emotional attachment to gadgets, right? Of course, they have emotional attachment to the gadgets, but for example, let's say when they are buying something like a charger, or a battery for their camera, so there's not that kind of an emotional attachment as compared to buying a piece of clothing or a weight loss product, right? Because those products could make them look good and feel good, while this is just a necessity. So increasing the profit margin in the electronic space is a challenge, and that's something that I am working towards. So all the stores have different challenges, and while working with each store, my objective is to overcome individual challenges across the stores, so that over a period of time the law of averages works in my favor and I'm able to maximize the ROI from each store. Well, to begin with, here is what I did. I allocated a budget of $25,000 for Facebook advertising for each store. It's been about 2 weeks that I have been advertising so far, and here are the results. So at the moment, my goal has been to acquire a customer, right? That's the entire focus. Right now, in the first couple of months, my goal isn't to go out and make profits. My goal is to acquire a customer and acquire them at a break even. At the moment, I am taking up a little bit of a loss. I haven't broken even, but I'm still cool with it because this is how I am looking at it. For all the customers that I'm acquiring for my weight loss store, apart from selling them the front end product, I am also affiliating for products on ClickBank, because I know somebody buying a weight loss product would also be interested in the workout which helps them lose weight, and there are a lot of great weight loss products which are really popular on clickbank.com. So I want to maximize the customer lifetime value, right? And as you know, revenue and profits in e-commerce is made on repeat purchase. If there's no repeat purchase, there's no point of running an e-commerce store. So my entire focus has been on increasing that repeat purchase value and increasing the repeat purchase frequency. And that's why I have an automation set up for everybody who's purchasing the product to take them and get them to buy the ClickBank weight loss programs, where I have a great affiliate commission breakdown. So one product sale could get me an affiliate commission of $47, and I have two programs that I'm promoting at this point. So one pays me $47 and the other one pays me $9 recurring. So I'm testing out both. My focus would be to sell the $47 product, although there's a recurring revenue aspect on the other program. The stick rate is about 3 months, right? So by stick rate, I mean people would stick around for 3 months and then they would cancel their membership. So I make about $36 there compared to selling this product one time and the program one time, and I make $47. So that's the entire idea, and that's what you should be focused on in e-commerce. And how do you maximize the customer lifetime value? This is my first time in the electronics and accessory space. I have never been in the electronics space before, but it's been a good market so far. So of all the 5 stores so far, I am taking up huge losses on the 2 customized product stores, but that's okay because these products are new. People haven't seen these products. The competition is literally zero. So that's why my cost per acquisition is going to be higher, but I'm okay losing that kind of money because I know I want to build these stores for the long run. So the customers that I acquire today have a repeat purchase value of each month and a repeat purchase value of at least $6 each month, right? And the frequency of buying would be approximately each month because we'll be releasing a new product every month. And we know that if they buy the first product, they would be interested in buying the second, third, fourth, fifth, given they like the first one, and I'm sure they would like the first one. So although I'm losing a big chunk of money in the customized product stores, I know I'll make the profits in the 3rd month. So I'm okay losing that kind of money because the weight loss store will give me a profit immediately as soon as people buy. And even if 10% of the people who purchase the first product even buy the affiliate product. The fashion store has been doing fairly well. It's the only store that's actually making a little bit of a profit for me at this point, and that's where it saved the day. And from the electronic store, we are losing, I think, about -8 to -10%. So we are almost close to break even. So at this point, the fashion and the beauty product store is saving the day for me, while the weight loss will start making huge returns in, I am assuming, a couple of weeks. And I'm sure that in a few weeks, the customized product stores would start getting close to break even and then eventually churning in a profit. So this is how it's all going about. I was always prepared to lose the money for the first 6 odd weeks, but I'm looking at the numbers. I believe that I should be able to start breaking even in the next couple of weeks, and from then on I should be starting to make a little bit of a profit. So that's how it's looking like at this point. And that's a little bit of a gist about the entire plan and the entire strategy behind the project Mercedes. I hope this gives you a framework on what I am doing and how I am going about things. And again, word of caution, do not do this if this doesn't seem right for you, right? Think this through, and you could always tweak, adopt a version of it and test out what's the best for you. I obviously am not going to reveal the names of the stores because you know how it goes with drop shipping. People are ready to pounce on and copy everything that you're doing verbatim, and I don't want to publicize the names of the stores so that the first thing people do is go to the info and the ad section and my Shopify stores and copy the ads and the product and the descriptions. So I want to protect that. I would never throw out and I'm sure you would never want to throw out the name of your Shopify stores as well, since copying is so pervasive and it's so easy and people do it left, right and center. But overall, the 2 key takeaways from this podcast should be: 1, work with the law of averages. I think that'll give you a big advantage. And number 2, look at maximizing the lifetime value. And number 3, do not give up quickly. Even if you're starting a 1-store strategy, have a budget of 50,000 to begin with, and think about it as if it's just gone, right? You're not getting the money back. It's just for you to learn. And if you have that kind of a budget, I'm sure sooner or later you will hit that product. You will find that product and you'll find the audience who's willing to pay for the product, and that's just going to start rolling in the cash and bring in the cash flow for your business. So as much as this is, creative, it's also mathematical, it's also statistical. Well, so I'll keep you posted on how it's coming along for me. I'll probably do another podcast on Project Mercedes and the update on how things are shaping up for me. I wish you all the best with your dropshipping stores.